Yo.
What up?
What up, dude? What's poppin'?
Dude, what episode are we on?
114. 114.
Let's go, people.
Let's go, man.
Welcome back to the Carbon Footprint Podcast, episode 114.
Whoop, whoop.
Here's Juan and I'm Sean, and every week, you know how we do it, people. We get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit them with the drink of the day.
Actually, I got to pull up the recipe here. 'Cause this one was a little... so, hold on. This one was a little complex, bro. We calling this one a spicy whiskey punch. So it's simple, but there's like you got to make the punch for it first.
Okay.
So how you make the punch is you got to do 8 ounces of Aperol and then 12 ounces of orange juice. Any orange juice, whatever you like.
Nah, man, you got to use
organic Florida. We in Florida, so we use Florida orange juice here, like the Simply or like
Yeah.
I think we use Simply on this one.
You did,
actually.
yep.
Yeah, and then so you use the orange juice. Use some good orange juice. So 12 ounces of orange juice, 8 ounces of Aperol, and then about half an ounce of bitters, aromatic bitters, which is
how many dashes?
I would say I go almost like 5-6,
Okay.
just heavy dashes, and then so that's how you make the mix. So you make that separately. You mix those things together, stir it up, and then you make the cocktail. So the cocktail is going to be 1.5 ounces of bourbon. So we use Angel's Envy today. So bourbon,
Ooh.
switch it up. Let's go. And then you add 3 ounces of the punch mix, and then you top it off. We topped it off with ginger beer,
Absolutely.
and added that spice to it, and it slaps.
I
bro.
like that ginger beer, man.
Yeah.
I be using that shit on things that I ain't supposed to use it on.
Mm-hmm. You right, because that wasn't the original recipe for this. I had ginger ale in here, I had Sprite. Sean go throw ginger beer in it. We was like, damn it, and that shit worked.
That shit works.
That shit worked, bro. It was so good. And then, of course, you know we got to do the garnish. So you got to garnish it with a orange peel. And you need that aroma there, and it switches up the drink, man. So it's so good. Try that out, man. A spicy whiskey punch. So 1.5 ounces of bourbon, 3 ounces of that punch mix, and then top it off with ginger beer. Real good. It's refreshing. You get that nice spice to it. Yo, we've been on this mission to make these to make whiskey and bourbon. Like, dude, we've been on a run. We got like a month worth of refreshing.
Listen, if y'all need a poolside drink, we got, it's been like every week in the summertime, right? That we've been hitting up with these drinks. So if y'all haven't been on it, need a suggestion, go back a few episodes, man. We've been having them this whole summer, so get on it.
Yeah, we've been on it, man. These are good.
You ain't already on it.
Yeah. These are good. I don't know if you saw. Do you see that study they had with like the drinks?
No.
So it was like the top drink in all 50 states. I didn't get to see all of them, but I did see Florida's was vodka.
Okay.
So like the most consumed drink. And I think that was the most consumed drink overall. But then there was a breakdown by state of what the most consumed drink was. But it makes sense because Florida's hot. Usually vodka is a heat-friendly drink. Like you stay away from darks when it's hot outside. Although we're trying to switch that up.
We don't know no better.
We don't know no better.
All right, man. My cover for another week is actually going out to 3 doctors.
Okay.
And I'm going to jack up their names because they're Hispanic names.
Oh.
With accent marks and shit like that, man.
Hispanic names. I thought you were going to go like Asian.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, man. So Dr. Jao de Quevedo.
De Quevedo, okay.
Dr. Jair Sores.
Okay.
Dr. Albert Fendi. So
Okay.
don't know where these guys are from or gals. Don't even know there's I'm assuming at least 2 of these are men. But anyway, they published this article in the Journal of Molecular Psychiatry. And what they found was they used this treatment, and it's called a deep brain stimulation. And this is typically used for to treat patients that are suffering from like movement disorders, like Parkinson's or tremors or dystonia.
Okay.
Right. And so the way this thing works is they actually implant electrodes in portions of the brain, and sort of send stimulation to that portion of the brain to treat these to treat those patients. Well, they've actually used it they found a way to use it to treat depression.
Really?
So one of the reasons, one of the things with it was that they were trying to find like that almost like that G spot in the brain for depression, and so they found an area, used this kind of treatment, and they've only tested it on 10 patients, but 8 out of 10 have reduced their depression by 50% or more.
Oh wow! And how do they measure that? Like, I guess amount of time, like days.
I guess.
Yeah.
Days,
How you 50% less sad?
Daisy not sad anymore.
It's been 4 days. I was only sad too, and they're like 50%.
You know what, man? It's like, and depression is one of those funny things, right? So it's like, I've never suffered from depression. Have I been sad? Sure. Mm-hmm. But I know people who suffer from depression, and it's like, it's odd, man, because sometimes those people can't even explain to you why they're sad.
Yeah, they'll tell you like, I'm just sad.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm overwhelmed with that.
Right. It's just like, well, what's happening? And it's like, there's nothing really happening. It's just kind of like this overwhelming feeling of sadness, and it's not any kind of rhyme or reason in some cases of why they're feeling this way.
Dude, I used to be really ignorant, and like in my personal life, I got family members that suffered from depression, and I remember going like, your life's pretty fucking good, like,
right.
And be like, what do you have to be sad about? Like that ignorant mentality of that. And this is probably like, I would say teens, maybe early 20s, but like, yeah, as I've gotten older, you're just like, man, you meet more and more people like this, and you sort of learn to grow to have empathy, because a lot of them tell you like, I don't want to feel this way, man, like I want to be happy. I'm not choosing this. It's just overwhelming, and it just takes over. It consumes like my thoughts or my mind or my body. Like, it's odd, man, and I can't relate to how helpless that must feel,
right?
Like if you're a person in it. I was reading something, man, recently that they were talking about. There's these studies now that they think that, I guess, the popular, I guess, idea right now is that depression, it comes from like a chemical imbalance in your brain.
Yep.
And now there's these theories coming out that are sort of disputing that are saying that's probably not the case. Which, thinking about your thing, that's probably
that might be accurate.
It might be accurate, because yours has nothing to do with treating their like chemical imbalances and stuff.
But you know what, man? Like the brain does produce chemicals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
for sure.
like dopamine, like, so I wonder if perhaps stimulating these portions of the brain are producing some of these chemicals. Because I want to say and I'll read this off, man. So I don't know this off the top of my head. So essentially they targeted the superlateral branch of the medial forebrain bundle.
Now, I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. But it says, which is, it's linked to reward and motivation.
See, that leads me to think more and more that it's...
But isn't reward, isn't dopamine like a reward?
It is.
Right?
And I guess that is a chemical.
It is. And what are the four that they always talk about? It's like dopamine, oxytocin,
cortisone, right? Or not?
No, not
cortisol.
It's cortisol.
Cortisol. Yeah. You're right.
And there's another one that I'm not thinking of. But there's these chemicals that the body and the brain produce. And so I don't know. I didn't read the article. Like, I read an article about this, but I didn't read the actual journal article. But it could be linked to that chemical imbalance of just the brain either not producing or producing too much of something.
But I wonder if also, is it electric charges, if it's waves, if it is things with nerves, if it's conditioning, like, can your environment contribute to that? Because how you said, like, people in, and I guess those environmental factors do sort of change chemical, I guess, reaction in your brain. So maybe that's a shitty example, but like, like in places like Seattle, where people buy like what they call like happy lights or whatever it is, because it's so gloomy and dark there,
right.
And people need to change sort of. But I don't know. To me, that also, there's something stimulant that has to affect that as well. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be. I guess maybe it is a chemical imbalance, but doesn't have to be treated with pills. I don't know, because you look at something like epilepsy, where it's literally like an overstimulation of electrical signals that just basically send your body into like involuntary movements, right? Like,
right.
And that's like almost overdoing it in specific places. Like, do you wonder, like, if you have overstimulant in different parts of your brain, like, could the reaction be something like a depression or like Tourette's or whatever, whatever else? And I'm sure there's people a lot smarter than me who figure some.
But even with
out,
epilepsy, right? Like they typically will target like a portion of your brain that's kind of causing it. Isn't that correct?
Yes. So usually the epilepsy is like born in a specific part of your brain,
right?
And then that part of your brain, and then depending on where it is how you react, right? So if you're like a frontal lobe or left hemisphere, right hemisphere, wherever that comes from, it sort of dictates the type of seizures you have, and then the type of treatments you can have or not have, or like my mom has epilepsy, so it's like where they come from on her brain, like she was able to get operated. Because they were able to sort of, they literally cut out a part of her brain.
So they were able to pinpoint it.
Yeah, but they're also able to determine, like, you don't need that. So, like, you can pinpoint it, but if it's
That's
like,
nuts,
isn't
bro.
it, dude, that was such a fascinating, like, it sucks for my mom, man, and she went through hell, like, doing that, but it's such a fascinating, like, procedure, because they wire you up, they basically figure out, they test you, and they do all this stuff on you, like they make you do things, they ask you questions, and then they figure out which parts of your brain are sort of responding to sort of pinpoint down to, first they want to figure out where seizures are coming from, so you're wired up and they're basically trying to get you to have seizures.
Yeah, right.
And then when you have seizures, they know, oh, okay, this is where sort of it's coming from. And now they have to start doing all these other tests, like cognitive tests and sort of these almost academic type tests and all this stuff. And then going, okay, where in your brain is that coming from? Because if we take this out, what are you going to lose?
Right.
And then they'll even go as far as to like, they took like too little, because they're like, we'd rather take too little and have to go back in again and then maybe take a little bit more. But, I can't give you back part of your brain sort of thing. So like, yeah, man, but they literally got it down.
We can't patch that up.
It's nuts, man. They literally get it down to that. And, like, that's one of the treatments. They'll literally cut out the part of your brain where it's born in. Now, it doesn't, and this is what's so weird about stuff like that. It's not a guarantee, because what happens is it's almost like, I think of it as like a tumor. It's like, they're like, if you could potentially, there's still some part of it left, it'll basically just like a root, it just starts
to grow
spreading
again
into another part of your brain. Wow. Yeah. So you could have that. So yeah, man, it's such a fascinating thing. Like going through that whole process where I was like, you just saw all the stuff that they did and like the scans and just, I mean, the technology is so crazy now of how they're able to treat things like that, and then it's getting progressively better. Like,
yeah, dude. Like we said, man, we're still so early in this stuff, man, and maybe one day they'll look at these electric impulses that I'm giving to the carbon footprint to and go, that was barbaric.
Yeah, we might go like, yo, that was wild. Remember when we used to do that? Yeah, I mean, but you're right though, right? Like if that is probably gonna be a thing. Like we're gonna be like, yo, you remember when they used to do like cut people's brains out or whatever, and now they just give you like a pill that gets rid of it for a month at a time, or there's gonna be these updates to this stuff, man. It's gonna be super crazy to see, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm hella excited, bro.
All right, what you got?
Yo, I just want to know, but before I get into my carbon footprint, man, talking about taking pills, you seen the shit with Magic Johnson this week?
No.
Yo, Magic Johnson.
He's in the news, bro?
Yeah, he was in the news, bro. And Magic Johnson had there was like a photo online, it was fake, I don't know why, but it basically shows him and it looks like he's giving blood. It's like a doctor, he's got his arm wrapped and he's thinking, and then the caption says, earlier today NBA legend Magic Johnson donated some of his blood to the Red Cross to help underprivileged communities help fight COVID-19.
Was that real?
No, because then
I was gonna say, because he had to come out. Got, right?
Yeah, he's like HIV, but he had to come out and literally go like, guys, I'm aware of the false story circulating on the internet, and to be clear, I have never donated blood. Yo, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If there's anybody's blood that I want, it's probably Magic Johnson's, bro. So, this dude got AIDS at a time where HIV. Is he HIV? He's HIV positive, not it. He's HIV positive.
Which, by the way, I would imagine with all the treatments now, he probably doesn't.
He tests negative now, I think. Yeah,
right.
And he's unique in that whatever he has, whatever that blood. There's something in your blood that helps fight that if you get, you sort of get luckier or whatever, I guess. But yeah, you're right. In today's, but he got HIV at a time where this shit was a death sentence, bro. You talking Eazy-E, Freddie Mercury, all these people got it around the same time, bro.
Actually, I want to say, didn't he get it? Did he get it after the whole Dream Team?
Yeah.
Which was
around the same time.
Around that time. It was maybe
early 90s, like what, 91,
early
92?
90s, yeah, because I want to say Eazy-E got it. Eazy-E died late 90s.
Yeah, like 95, 96, right?
Yeah, I guess it was.
And then somewhere around that same time, it was like Hector Lavoe, Eazy-E, Freddie Mercury. Might have been 80s or early 90s.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury died. Yeah, I want to say very early, like 92 or some shit like that.
And then you can imagine, I was like, dude, I remember when he made the announcement, bro. I cried. I'm like, he's dead. Like, I remember as a kid, like being like, I remember exactly where I was.
Dude,
I was
because
like, Boys and Girls
everybody
Club.
was dead. That
Bro.
got that shit.
And Magic Johnson had soldiered on with super blood, evidently. So I'm like, give me that shit. People were livid about him, like they thought it was for real.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he's waited 30 years to give his blood. God damn it.
I'd be like, bet. I get Magic's blood? There's magic in that shit for real, bro. Oh,
That's
man.
dope. You gotta love the internet.
Yeah, dude, the internet's awesome, bro. But yo, my carbon footprint, man. It's going to Bad Baby, bro. Bad Baby. Catch Me Outside, girl. For those who don't know, or Danielle Bregoli.
Why Bad Baby?
Yo,
is this
because she made a meal from an OnlyFans in a day. So no, I'm just kidding. I mean, she did. That's true, but that's not why I'm giving it to her.
Yeah, she made a meal, bro.
Yo, something crazy. This is how we know dudes are pervs, bro. The day she turned 18, she launched an OnlyFans and I think made a meal that day or something nuts like that, bro. Which I'm like, yo, good for you, because some of y'all turn 18 and hoe for free. So I respect it, bro. I love the entrepreneurial spirit.
Didn't she try to? She tried to rap, right?
She is, dude. She's the youngest. She's the youngest, I think, Billboard 100 artist or whatever the fuck. Like, dude, she's got like as much fun as people want to make fun of her.
Yeah.
Like, she's got songs that kind of slap, like as far as a club banger, but she's also charted. So I'm like, you can't be mad. Like, she's charted. And I think she's the youngest.
Yeah, but is she charted because it's good,
No,
or is she charted because of that? Was that Dr. Phil?
Does it matter though?
Dr. Phil, right?
Yeah, Dr. Phil. But she was on Dr. Phil years before, and the whole "Catch Me Outside," how about that? And then went all crazy. So she is. I'm telling you right now. 2017, she became the youngest female rapper to chart on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow,
dude. So 2017. You talk about she was 14, 15 back then, or whatever, 15 years old back then.
I want to hear it.
Yeah. Oh, you've never heard her songs?
No,
bro. Compared to all the shit that's out now, it's like she's fine.
It just goes right along with
it. Just goes along with all the other shit you hear now, like the same so trap, mumble rap shit, like it flows right along with that, bro. I'm like, you know what, good for her. But that's not why I'm giving it to her, man. I'm actually giving it to her. This is kind of in your wheelhouse. Normally, something you would do is so she's actually partnering with a company called Capital Foundation to create called the Bad Scholarship. So after herself, the Bad Baby. Yeah. But she's essentially giving away scholarships to people to go to trade schools and I guess it's trade school or technical schools.
Oh, wow.
So and she's putting up, I think 1.7 mil, or they're giving away, and the goal is to give it to 1,000 students, so they can enroll in technical and trade schools nationwide. And it's anything from cosmetology to cybersecurity to like you have those cannabis schools now or whatever in certain states, like if you want to do that. But like basically she's the scholarship will help kids and who goes to those kind of schools.
Wow, man. So I would imagine this is for, you said nationwide.
Yeah.
So just another scholarship that probably, that anybody can apply for.
Yeah, you can apply for it and you can do. So I'm like, yo, man, like it was one of those things where I saw and went, yo, think what you want about her, but you figured out a way to monetize Ratchet, right? Like how many people out here Ratchet for free? How many people out here, like, you figured out a way to whether she took that viral moment from the Dr. Phil and turned it into a career, a life. Like she set herself up for life if she was smart. Like from that little viral moment of people thinking like she's some dumbass bitch kid,
right? And
you're like, yeah, she's an asshole kid, but it's like smart enough to pull this off, bro.
Yeah, and if she's giving away,
and then she's giving away money,
almost $2 million, man. Is somebody helping her with that, or is that all her money?
Well, no, I think it's this company. So the company partners
with somebody, right?
Yeah, so it's Capital is the company doing it with her. But yeah, so I thought that was dope. And just seeing that and her moves, man, I go, yo, man, you call her obnoxious, call her annoying, you can hate on the music. I'm like, you can't hate on the result. So
no, you
like,
really can't, bro.
Yeah, you can't hit on the result, man. And then like now to go and give that away. So each Bad Scholarship recipient will receive $1,000 towards their trade school education, and 50 graduates will receive $10,000 in startup capital to help launch their own business upon graduation.
Wow.
Yeah. And then additionally, she will handpick graduates to receive full ride scholarships from a $200,000 fund that's separate.
Okay.
And she's gonna hand select these people. And yeah, man, like, so it's a partnership with her. this is a statement. They basically said, we're grateful for our partnership with Bad Baby. This allows us to continue our mission to eliminate poverty through trade school education. And this is from a Dr. Britney Mitchell, who's the founder of EduCapital Foundation. And in a press conference with scholarship, she's like, I've seen firsthand the roles of education plays in opening. Like,
Yeah,
thing.
no.
And what I like about this is that it wasn't university. I like that it was trade schools. I like that it was technical schools. I like that it was that and not like, hey, you have to go to a 4-year university and do X, Y, Z. Like, I like that it was like a working sort of like these trades, you know, because I think we put so much emphasis on if you didn't go to 4-year university, like, that's not shit. Like, but there's just I guess as many, if not more, opportunity going the trade route. So,
no doubt, man. And I always talk about my kids, man, and they do not like school, and most of it is just because of that. It's just, every year it's just like day in and day out, it's the same shit, right? It's the math, the science, and they ask these questions where they're like, when am I gonna use this? And I gotta be honest with them, and I go, most of that shit you learn is you're not gonna use.
Bro, this is day 17,000 in a row where I didn't use the Pythagorean theorem. I lost track.
So I could totally see even my son's going to picking some kind of trade school, or even going to intern for somebody just so they can learn whether it's a business or whatever, because that typical university route is just not for everybody.
No, man. And I think this hit me a little bit different this week because my son this week was, and again, he's 8, right? So he's going to change his mind a lot. Yep. He's going to go. But he was around family, and he said he was saying that he wanted to be a construction worker when he grew up.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's immediate thing is like, oh, so you want to be an architect? And he's like, no, those guys draw it. Like, I want to build it, like with my hands. Like, I want to put the bricks on. Like, I want to be that guy. And I think so often, like, we're so dismissive of something like that, where we're like, oh, so you want to be an engineer? And he's like, no, like, I want to build it. Like, and he's just like, what's that? Like, how do I do that? And it's so funny. Like, I didn't know. So I'm like, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm like, I guess you could go work at a construction company. And then I'm thinking about like family members that I have that work in trades like that, where I'm like, yo, maybe we can get them to let you come shadow. Like, we'll go visit a site or do something like that. But I'm like, I think so many people's initial reaction is like, why do you want to do that?
Why do you want to do that? Right.
And it was neat. I was just kind of like, I found myself going like, okay, cool. Like, how do we nurture that? Like, if that's what you want to do, man, like, cool. Like, you're happy, bro. Like,
yep.
I'm like, that's hard work, but
get ready for that heat.
Yeah, boy, in Florida. I was like, you might want to move up north. But yeah, man. So shout out to Bad Baby, man, doing that. I think using her platform again, man, to say what you want. You don't have to agree. You just got to respect the result, man. You don't got to agree with the moves. You don't got to agree with the music, the attitude, the online presence, which, by the way, I will say her OnlyFans, I don't think she has sex on it. I think it's literally just pictures of her in bathing suits and lingerie. So even more so, she's making. As I say, you made $1 million off selling pictures of you in lingerie. Again, man, some of y'all out here sending these pics for free. So, and they're gonna get spread online anyway. So you might as well get paid for it.
Yo, man, did you see? You seen your girl Britney Griner around? So she's over there in Russia.
She's still there.
She's still there. Okay. 9-year sentence. Yeesh. She about to get rescued by the worm.
Oh, snap! The what?
Dennis Rodman to the rescue.
Worm.
Dude, remember he used to call him that?
Yeah, forgot about
the
that.
worm, baby. For those of you who have not seen, so Dennis Rodman went on. What the hell was it? One of these like Sunday news things. What was it? NBC News Sunday. And he was like that he got permission. I don't know who the permission was from, but he's gonna go travel over there. Essentially, he was just like kind of tired of it. And he was like, I'm gonna go and see how I can help. And of course, the Biden administration came back and was like, don't do that. We're trying to negotiate stuff. You're gonna make it worse.
Bro, they sent Jordan over there. Yo, go talk to your boy.
He said, I can't control him. But bro, not for nothing. So remember several years back when he was making those trips to North Korea?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Kim Jong-un, whatever it is. There was someone, what was the guy's name? I wrote it down there. It's Kenneth Bay. Kenneth Bay he was in prison over in North Korea, and he was freed in 2014. And in 2016, he actually came out and with a statement that said that Dennis Rodman was like the catalyst for his release.
What?
Yeah. So this dude said that. And so again, I don't know how he knows that or what he was told by
That's crazy.
his captors, right? Like I don't know, but I mean, the guy did some good there, and so he's going over there regardless of what the government, what our U.S. government is saying, to try to help her out.
Dude, it's funny, man, because somebody like Dennis Rodman, because he comes from that legendary Bulls era, and he was obviously a legendary player. The ego on these guys, like you think of a Kim Jong-un, is like his ego is so big that the fact that Dennis Rodman is willing to go visit him, and he probably likes American, whatever, like he probably watches Bulls tapes and all that, like someone like him has that pull just because this other guy's ego is so big that he's like, oh yeah, like you gonna come visit me? Like, yeah, ask me, and he's so happy to have this guy sort of be his friend.
Yep.
Almost like it's crazy. But I go, you know what? Hey, way to use your platform, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm like, I can't be mad at you, man. Like,
yeah, no. And during the interview, they asked him, like, do you know Putin? He was like, I know Putin too well.
Really? Oh, so he hanging out with him. I know Putin too well.
Me and Putin got into some shit.
We was spit roasting Ivanka once. What's her name? Natalia? I don't remember. That's where Worm came from. Yo, that's wild. I know Putin too well.
That's what he said,
but again,
man.
Putin's probably another one of these guys, bro. Ego is so big and probably just so like, oh yeah, of course Dennis Rodman wants to be. Yeah, I want to be his friend. And then it's almost like ego is big, and then their need for validation from someone like that is just like it clashes, and then that's funny, man. That's interesting. Listen, if he can help get her out,
he can help, bro.
And then he's got to go do it for the other million people who are in jail here for weed. Like, bro, I had that same energy for everybody in the U.S. who's in jail.
Dude, it's funny that and I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Biden is trying to negotiate, right? What would it like? I wonder why, and I think that he has pardoned some people already, but there's so many people in jail for weed.
Kamala's put away thousands.
Yeah,
if you think about it as a
and you got to figure. Like, I'm not saying I understand. Like, you can't open the floodgates. You can't open the jail doors and go release thousands of people back into society who haven't been in society for years, right? Without some kind of plan in place.
Yeah, you definitely got to do a rollout.
Right. But if you are in a state, and there are many states now, there's at least half of states in the union that have they have marijuana legal either medically or recreationally or both.
Yeah.
If you are in jail in one of the states, like say Colorado,
yeah,
there should be no one in jail in Colorado for weed.
I should certainly hope not, man. At this point,
dude,
you would, yeah,
right? Because even if it's it's still a federal crime, right? Still federally,
yeah, it's still federal. Yeah, that's why it's hard to get really banking and all that stuff with it. Yeah, because it's still federally illegal, but the states can sort of, they can. So you can't move it between state lines, but
right.
And it's hard to get, like, banks don't get banks. It's hard for banks to get, like, federally insured if they have money on hand that they know was done from weed sales or cannabis sales. Okay. Like, it's just that's why a lot of weed places are cash only.
Yep.
And then you get banks in certain states that are like, oh, we're cannabis friendly for business, but usually they're like local state banks. They're not banks that need and then they don't qualify for the federal insurance that like right now you get $250,000 federal insurance on your bank account. Yeah, like you won't get that.
Well, what about here? Like here it's not recrecreational, but it's medicinal. Mm-hmm. And is that different? So is that is not cash only? That's
it's a good question. I think
it has to be both, right?
I think it's both. I think those are both because you can get. It's not looked at as actually no same. That falls on the same because it's still illegal federally.
That's crazy.
Even medicinal, like medicinal marijuana isn't legal federally. So yeah, no, it falls on the same thing. So it's like either a local bank or you have to pay cash. Or like some people are lucky enough to get like a local bank or a merchant, like a credit card, some kind of credit card supplier or whatever that's willing to do it and then take on the risk. But there's some bank bagging them. So, but yeah, that now it's getting easier. But I remember when it first started, like in Colorado, it was like everywhere. And then people started. There was this boom in like ATM business because people were just playing ATMs all over the streets because they knew that people were going there to do that. And then I think Vegas has some, but Vegas had ATMs everywhere already anyway because they want you to be taking your cash out.
Yep.
But yeah, that's yeah, I don't know, man. Like you forget, it's common sense will tell you, but yeah, I don't know what the answer is to that because it was illegal at the time. Whether or not we want to argue that it was stupid, it's a different thing.
I'm just saying,
you were on notice.
If you're trying to get out a basketball player, let's call it what it is, right?
Yeah.
Forget about her fame. A basketball player, and you're willing to like trade known terrorists for a basketball player.
Oh yeah, listen, I don't think we should do that.
Yeah, and I don't think so either. I do feel bad for her, and I don't think
I
she
do
should
too.
be
But
there and be in jail. But
I'm not training you for terrorists, bro. Especially not where I live somewhere where again there's a bunch of people here in jail already for the exact same thing.
Right.
So and you're not more valuable. Like this isn't an asset, like a national security asset.
Right.
Right. Like I'd even get it if it was that. If it was like a CIA agent. Or whatever, like if that were the case, we wouldn't even heard about it.
She's got no information,
nothing. So like to me, there's no like, yeah, I feel bad. It's shitty. You hope they don't like she's not in abusive conditions or whatever over there.
Yep.
But we're hypocrites as fuck if we're doing all this and we have all these people sitting here for the exact same thing. So.
Dude, I think I saw a different article that said that she was being offered to coach their basketball team.
She should do it. The men's one
over there.
She should do it. I mean,
if she's got to be in
but
jail.
I've heard that this wasn't her first go at this either. So like I've heard that she's been playing in Russia. She's known the rules, and I heard that this was because they knew the whole thing was coming with the Ukraine and all that, and sort of this is Russia's way because supposedly too like she gets treated well. Like I mean, who knows if that's true or not? But like supposedly she got all these oligarchs because she plays on the team and all that there. Which can we throw out the fact here that women have to go to Russia to make money playing basketball? That's how low.
Why you got to bring that up?
Listen, that's how low the U.S. looks at women's sports. Even Russia is like, dude, we'll pay y'all.
I saw like an Instagram post, man, and it showed like WNBA players waiting at the airport because they were flying coach
at a regular airport. Yeah. Dude, they be flying Spirit and shit. Like they're not allowed to fly private jets. Actually, it's a rule in the WNBA.
Oh wow,
they're not allowed because the reason they're not allowed is because not every team can afford it.
Because they operate at a loss.
Yeah, probably. Like y'all lucky you get Spirit. We were gonna have Britney drive the truck, but she in Russia. drive a bus. But they because every team can't afford it. So like some teams are owned by like billionaire owners or whatever, and then some WNBA teams are like millionaire guys, but like lower level millionaires, so they can't afford to because flying private is expensive, and then to do it for every single game is really crazy. So because every team can't do it, then no one's allowed to do it. And then teams get like occasional waivers and things like that because they get like donations. So like, but sometimes like I think Mark Cuban and a lot of these NBA guys have offered their jets for like certain playoff games and things like that.
Okay, and
they've been hit with like sanctions and stuff like that, or the teams have been told outright no, because, and then I know certain players have gotten in trouble because they'll be like at an event and then they'll hitch a ride back with somebody or whatever, and they'll have to do it that way, but they're not allowed. Like the way it's so weird, man, because they're not allowed to technically fly private to a game site because that's considered an advantage over the other team because they can. Yeah, it's so bizarre, man. The whole WNBA thing. Like I don't know. I don't believe in parity in sports. I'm like, fuck it. If you can't, like, too bad, bro. You should.
Yeah, if you got it,
if you got it, you got it, man. Like we don't do that with anything else. Like you're not allowed to have 6 hot tubs because this other team down, in the next state over can only have 3 in their facility. Like we don't do that. So,
yeah, and then, I mean, Mark Cuban when he took over Dallas, that was one of his big things, right?
Yeah,
he made his facilities.
Yeah, made the facilities crazy, and their team plane is nuts. You ever seen the team plane in the Mavs? Oh my god, man. That thing is awesome. Like, yeah, he's got like a 747. It's so nuts, man. I think it's literally like a 747. It's so dope, and it's got like a bar in it, and players lounge inside of the plane, and like it looks cool as hell. But he was one of the first guys who was like, "Yeah, no, this sucks. We got to do better."
Yeah,
but yeah, man,
that's dope.
Yeah, dude. Listen, what you got?
No, I was gonna say just shout out to the worm.
The worm, get him worm, bro. Listen, you know where else you might see some worms? Or what may appear like worms at a water park in the water if you get a little excited.
Water park. I think Florida.
It's a bad transition. No, but it's a horrible transition.
What you got?
Yo, I got there was a story I saw online, man, and I just want to get your opinion on it. So there was this woman, and she was in a thong bikini at a water park.
Okay.
So she's in like a wave pool, and full cheeks out. It's almost like a G-string bikini. Cheeks out. There's like a bunch of kids next to her. Okay. She's got her own kids. She's clearly there playing with. And so like it basically, you know how the internet goes ham. All this outrage about should she not have worn a thong bikini at a water park? The argument is, should she not wear it where there's kids? Should she be more modest because kids are present? And then,
man, like.
So where do we sit on this? Free the cheeks.
That's the next T-shirt.
Free the cheeks. That's the name of the pod.
Subscribe to the podcast.
Hit like and subscribe.
Dude, I mean, listen, man. She's not naked, you know, no. and those swimsuits. I mean, they sell them everywhere. It's not like
it's in style now. It's like
But I mean, like, so I guess is there a limit, right? Because they also have those tops, those bikini tops that literally like cover your nipple.
Yeah.
So like, is that okay? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really care that much, man. When I've gone to water parks. And some people wear sort of less bathing suits than others, but you know, it's I don't know. To me, it's always like in passing. So it's like it just.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not gonna ruin my day.
Yeah, I don't. It's really not.
I'm indifferent to it. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, like I'm like, do you? Like
where was it? Do you know?
Oh, a woman works back this one water park. No,
because water parks are actually all over, man. I saw an advertisement for a water park recently, and it was somewhere in like Middle America. So they are all over. And so I just wonder if it's in one of these like Bible Belt states. Where it's like
because I've seen it here all the time.
Dude, yeah. And we have so many tourists.
Yeah, and it's so, and that was the like my thought on this was like culturally too. Like certain countries don't look at nudity the same way we look at nudity,
right? And
so this goes down to the whole thing of like, you know, America wants to be the world police about everything. Like I've been to countries in Europe where regular network television had nudity, like sex scenes.
Oh wow.
Or like just topless women, or like full frontal on a dude, like just weird like shit where you're just like, and I thought I ordered some shit that I wasn't supposed to by mistake. I was like, fuck. I was like,
checking your bill.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit. And it turns out it's just like to them, and then you start to see even like how they dress and do that, like nobody cares. And I think it's because they're so open about it and they're so free about it. They also have a lot less like stigma or like this like, oh my god, like you must be modest and da 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 da. Like nobody even looks at it that way. They're just like, yeah, it's a bathing suit, like you go off. But here, because you said we're taught like cover up and like it becomes this taboo thing that it's like a bigger deal here than it would be somewhere else. Like I'm just so indifferent. Like I don't care. Like I'm like,
I don't really care either. And
then my kids,
there's kids.
Yeah,
I think kids care less.
My kids see my ass cheeks. I don't think ass cheeks in public. You don't think I've walked around my house with no pants before, and my kids like, why your ass out?
You want to see the snake?
Yeah. Now that would have got me in a different. That would have got me in a different. I would have got reported. I would have got. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like, yo, my kid. I'm not worried about my kid seeing someone's ass cheeks. Like,
dude, you know, for us to go nuts about that. And then not nuts about this next thing I'm about to tell you about. So you saw Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Right? The NFL.
The most relaxed man in the NFL.
Yeah, no shit. So the NFL came back and said that the 5-game suspension wasn't enough. They came back and said 11 games, $5 million fine, and then he has to undergo like counseling.
Is the $5 million fine charity? It should be, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
But I don't know for a fact. So they had a preseason game. You know, preseason has been on for right? Yeah. So they had a preseason game, and there was a guy outside of the stadium selling a shirt in Cleveland brown orange.
Okay.
Right? And the front of the shirt said, "Bitch, give me a massage."
Might be the greatest shirt of all time. Bitch, give me a massage.
I cannot confirm or deny if those shirts are sold out.
That's so good. It will be now. You know, somebody online. Oh my God, bro.
Dude, and so and you know, like people are passing this guy selling these shirts. You should be offended, I guess. I think it's funny as hell.
Yeah, I guess. But
right? But I'm just saying, like
it's low key hilarious.
But we'll look at that and we'll laugh. But then we'll make a big deal about somebody wearing a thong.
That's true, man. Also, I think too, like we lose this whole like application of common sense. It's like what we were talking about last week, because you know someone's gonna go, well, what if it was a guy walking out with a schlong, and you're like, again, clearly different than
right. It is a double standard.
Yeah, it is, and it should be. Like it's just, and I go, but that guy can have his cheeks out.
Yes, I was gonna
like
say
we're okay with that. Yeah, I'm like he can have his cheeks out. That's fair. Like I don't think she should have her vagina out. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think she should be okay with some butt cheeks. Like I'm like, I don't know, and cleavage or whatever, you know, whatever else. Like if you're just covering your nipple, which is weird, bro. Why is the nipple the offensive part?
I have no idea.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like as a guy, I can show I do get that. Like, see, I'm a feminist, bro. Free the nipple too. Please. I'm on y'all side, yo. I'm on y'all side, man. Yo, but you know who likes body parts, homie? Have you heard of this guy named Jeremy Lee Pauley?
Doesn't even sound familiar.
Jeremy Lee Pauley like him some body parts, bro. So much so that he's a 40-year-old dude from Pennsylvania, and he's got arrested because he was slanging stolen human remains on Facebook Marketplace. But
yeah.
Okay,
well,
it gets better, bro.
All right. Sorry, I got questions.
Yep, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Okay, so he procured some human remains from a lady named Candace Scott at the Arkansas Central Mortuary in Little Rock, here, and he took these things and put them on his Facebook Marketplace. The crazy part is that
they were probably selling.
No, it was, but the store had been up for a long time, and then when they got into it, technically, it's not illegal for him to do that. Yeah. What got him in trouble was the fact that these body parts, she stole them from the mortuary when they were already designated to be donated to someone, and then, you know, then he gets into like this whole unlawful, like basically he gets charged with like stolen property, misdemeanor abuse of a corpse, and this type of stuff. But he could technically, dude, if you go right now and Google like human remains, you can buy some. You can buy bones. You can buy femurs. You can buy teeth. You can buy stuff from people, including children.
Why? Like,
because people donate their bodies. There's unclaimed bodies. There's stuff. So you can. There isn't anything that says you can't sell body parts. Some people just like to have a bone around of a real person.
So they sell on like just the cleaned off like a skull.
Oh yeah, bro. Like.
Or can I buy it like skin, flesh?
Most of what I saw was mostly bone, like parts. So like femurs, I saw skulls, I saw lots of teeth for whatever reason. But the teeth all pulled out. So the inside part, the outside actual too. There were ribs.
Wow, bro.
Scapulas. Like literally entire skulls or skeletons in some cases. But so some people donate their body to science or whatever, and it becomes part of that. And then some of it is just like unclaimed body. Some of it, but evidently, bro, you Googled it now, there's like online shops where you can buy like human remains.
Wow.
And man. Some of it is for like classroom use, and then some of it is just like somebody.
And you know, I don't know. You know, it's funny. Like the skeleton piece doesn't sound so bad to me. When you said they had body parts, I'm thinking of like a whole hand. You know,
but you
with like
get,
flesh.
Oh, with the flesh on it.
He still got the wedding band.
I bet you
know
could.
What
I mean? Like his bling's still on, but I think you can. I think you could do that. I think you could taxidermy that. I think you could definitely do it.
But like, you can't taxidermy legally, right? Like a human.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Remember we had that story it was over a year ago, where the mom did her son like that and stood his ass up in the living room.
Yeah.
Remember that, bro?
That was weird. That's Puerto Rican, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we do that. We pose him on a motorcycle and shit, and then we do like that's like how he died. Yet we put him on a motorcycle at the wake.
Didn't we see that where they put him on a motorcycle and he fell off?
Yeah, bro. We do some weird. There was the one a few months back. We might have talked about on here. The rapper that passed and they put him on a stage, like his body up on the stage, like as a way, like posed up there with a mic. It was like
just some.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big name, but I guess big enough to where people.
It wasn't. It wasn't DMX, right?
It was. Yo, can you imagine? Yo, if they do the sound effects, yo, that would be wild. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
Hey.
Yeah. But yo, the crazy part about this guy too is like you ever seen those people who are like the like I forget what they're called. It's not body they're like body artists or whatever, but like they have weird piercings everywhere. So they put like horns in their head.
Oh yeah.
They tattoo their face and their neck.
Oh, they use human bones for that
So
shit?
no, this guy looks like that. Like you see him and you're like, yo, this looks like some demonic dude.
Yep.
So I'm like, yo, you're not helping the fucking stereotype, bro. Literally sell body parts, and half his face is a tattoo. And he's got like horns embedded in his head, like there are these tattoos like spikes.
Yes.
He's got like, he's got the gauged earrings. He's got like holes everywhere.
What is the gauge? Is that the big hoop?
The big
joints?
hoop ones, the big gauge. And so like, he's like the person that you go, they look like they sell body parts.
Yep.
And he sells body parts, bro. I was like, you're not helping your community, bro. I'm like, damn, dog. But dude, I was like, hey, you can sell body parts. Who knew?
Well, maybe they should have got it from this guy that went in front of a train this past week, bro.
Wait, what?
Dude, there was a guy in Kissimmee that. So in Kissimmee, we have the Sun Rail, and so there's actually railroad tracks that actually like go like through streets essentially, right? So they got when the train's coming, you get the flashing lights, you get the bell ringing, and then the guards go down.
Okay.
So you technically you can't cross, but there is an opening there where if you're feeling froggy, you could actually go through it.
Like with your car, you mean?
With your car, right?
Yeah.
And this guy goes through it, and like right as the fucking train's coming, bro. So it's caught on camera.
Because he's in a rush and he doesn't want to wait for the train.
That's the piece that we don't know, right? Like for whatever reason,
we can't ask him.
We can't. And then they sold his body parts on Facebook Marketplace.
Let me ask Jeremy.
Ask the horn guy.
Can you ask your new addition if he was in a rush?
Now, you know what? And I go. Part of me goes like, man, it's really fucked up. Like they interviewed this lady who works in the area, and she was like, yo, this is like the second time that I've witnessed somebody going through and then getting hit. And she's like trying to come up with all of these different scenarios where we could put in more safety measures. And I'm like, bitch,
it's a train.
It's the fucking bell. There's a loud ass bell. There's these huge red flashing lights.
It's not the safety,
and the gates go down.
People don't give a fuck.
People don't give a fuck. Bro.
That's what it is, bro.
And
you almost have to make it impossible for them to get by. You got to put like a gate.
A gate.
Yeah. And it was just hella inconvenient.
They'll just smash
through the gate, bro. We don't learn. Yo, they late now.
Yep. Oops.
They oops. You ain't making it to that appointment. I've never even been tempted. I'm trying to think about that. Like as much in a rush as I can be.
Pissed.
Yes, but I've never seen it and gone like I could beat. I don't even think about like I could beat that thing before it goes down. I've never even thought about that, bro. Because to me,
I've thought about it.
Yeah, not me, dog. I look at that shit and then I go, well, best case scenario, I get through. Worst case scenario,
I'm dead. Dude, back in the day, so like we have this in this case it was a Sun Rail, which is it carries people. So, but back in the day, before there was a Sun Rail, it was just these those cargo trains, and they would be long as hell, and they would be slow as shit. So people more so than not, because the lights and the gates going down happen way before it gets there because these things are traveling so damn slow.
Oh yeah, dude, and you would wait a long
and then you
time.
wait a long time for the whole shit to pass because the train is like 2 miles long.
Dude, I used to live in an area near it, and when I would hear it, actually, you'll remember, like down in Lake Nona.
Yep.
There was one there that was one of those cargo ones.
Yep.
And I could hear it from the house, and if I heard it like, I'm like, I'm not leaving yet. because it's going to be a 20-30 minute thing, because it would go down and then it would take forever. And then sometimes for whatever reason it would stop and go in reverse. I'm guessing it would change tracks or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it did, but yes.
It would be 20 minutes, man, of this thing just going 30 minutes. And it would be like, one time I started counting cart. And I think I got to 100 and I just gave up. I was like...
He's like, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm like, there's a lot.
It's not that important.
It's not. I think it's like 100. I was like, wow, that's a lot of carts. And then it was just like, it just kept going and going and going.
But yeah,
like,
man.
wow.
I saw this article. I'm just like, and in the side of me that kind of felt bad, I'm just going like, man, I wonder if there was some type of like an emergency. Like, what is the scenarios in which I would go, I'm going through this because I have to get to where I'm going. Like, is it something with my family, you know, with my kids, with my wife, you know, like some scenario where I'm rushing to get home, and then when I get to this thing, you know, like the gates are down, and I know that it typically takes a while for.
But does it have to be life or death, or does it have to be like a recital that you're like, or a game?
No, it has to. For me, like it have to be like a life or
death, right? That's what I'm saying. Like I would risk it in a life or death scenario, but
even that, you got to do a calculated risk.
Yeah, like, am I willing to die right now? Like, somebody got to tell the story. Why we both got to go?
I tried.
Yeah, I ain't making it on time, bro. Like,
fucking train.
This woman, this week, this 70-year-old woman was driving, and also made some poor decisions with her vehicle. Yeah, that's problem number one. But bro, she's looking for the Apple Store, and so somebody told her like, oh, it's inside the plaza, like in the mall.
Yeah.
She drove her shit through the mall. Get
the fuck out.
She drove through the mall to get to the Apple Store, literally right
fucking parks.
Did. Right in front of the Apple Store.
This goddamn iPhone doesn't work.
Bro.
The GPS told me to go this way.
GPS told me to go this way. Yo, she went in, bro. I was like, yo, and it shows her car. She's in a fucking mall, bro. Like, literally, the best thing is she's parked in front of Torrid. And then I think the Apple Store there. Oh, dude, I think she literally just bust through. Like the glass doors and all that shit. And went
the
right
GPS said to go this way.
Go this way. I went, and she goes. So everybody else kept telling me it was inside. She drove right through that bitch, bro.
Dude, not for nothing, man. I was at like a shopping mall this past weekend, and I wanted to see the best way to get home from there, right? So I put the GPS on while I was in like the parking lot area. Mm-hmm. Dude, that shit steers you wrong.
Now, is this your phone or the one in the car?
The phone. So
it's updated. And that shit.
And so I could tell what it was trying to do, but there was no outlet to get to the road. So it was literally trying to take me down another parking aisle, thinking that at the end of the parking aisle, that there's a road. It's true. It's on the other side of the fucking wall.
Oh, so it didn't know that there was a wall there.
Apparently not.
I'd be loving that, bro. Be like, hit a left, and you're like, nah, that's the ocean, right. Bro. Yeah. Like, how about we don't?
Dude, one time, man, we went up to like a cabin in like North Georgia, and where they always told us like, yo, when you get here, like follow these directions because GPS doesn't work up here that well. So we get to this road, and there's like a way like to go straight, and there's a way to make a right, and there's no like one-way sign or anything, but somebody that I was with is following his GPS, and he makes a right. So I'm following him, and when I get to make the right, big ass sign says, "Do not enter." And I was like, I don't got no GPS, but that fucking sign says, "Do not enter."
And we in woods.
I ain't going that way.
Ain't going that way, bro. These here parts ain't meant for me to be ignoring signs.
I seen Deliverance.
This ain't going well.
What it ended up being was that it was essentially a one-way road that if you just went straight, you would end up back to where that right was. So it just looped around, but it was a one-way road.
Dude, it's always I always end up getting like the ones in the cars. If you don't update them, like you got to put in the whole SD card and all that. It's always funny to me. Like in the new areas, it'll say unnamed road, like it'll be like hit a right here, and you're like, yeah, that used to be, but now it's like closed off. It's under construction or whatever. Where you get so used to your phone if you're using like Google Maps or Waze or whatever, where it's like literally like, oh yeah, there's somebody changing their tire. don't go this way. You're like, oh shit. Like, how'd you know?
Click here if you're still there.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's gotta be the most dangerous shit, bro. It's like, police ahead, and it's like, click here if you're still there.
Thumbs up if he's still there.
Yeah, right. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm supposed to be driving.
Well, it's kind of it's like crowdsourced GPS and stuff,
Right.
right? But and I love it how Google does it now because they bought Waze,
Yep.
and so you get that like basically the tech behind Waze in there. But it's so true. I go, this shit is not safe at
Nope.
all. It's like, are the traffic cones still there while you're dodging them? You're like, and you know it's gonna disappear, and for whatever reason you can't help
gotta go.
yourself. Like I gotta hit the thumbs up, and I'm bobbing and weaving through cones and shit. It's so true, bro. It's like the most unsafe thing in the world.
How we doing on time, bro?
Dude, we're about to hit the hour in 5 minutes. We have 55
Bet.
minutes, man. We got something, man. You got what else you got? You got anything else?
I don't know, man. You want to talk about this Will Smith thing?
Yeah, like we should, man, because it's been a couple weeks now since. he did
We
his
can touch
little
on that briefly
apology.
at least, man. So for those of you who didn't see, Will Smith came out and recorded essentially an apology to Chris Rock. And man, without going into sort of the details on it, or no, you know what? I will go into some of the details. God damn it. So it looked like there was like some questions that were submitted that he sort of answered directly.
In which he hand selected before he films the video, which ones he wants to answer.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you? I would probably do the same thing.
True.
But he basically said that Chris is not ready to talk to him. He apologized to Chris's mother. He apologized to his brother, who what is his brother's name?
Oh, Tony Rock.
Tony Rock. So I guess Tony Rock and Will Smith had a pretty good relationship.
And Tony Rock's a comedian too.
Yeah. And then when that happened, Tony Rock was like, nah, like you out of line.
Tony Rock went ham, bro.
Yeah.
You seen the footage? He like
I
the day after or weekend of or whatever, like within the week, he's doing a stand up thing and he's talking mad shit about laying out Will Smith and so talk about come punch me.
Really?
Yeah, basically like I think Tony Rock's younger. He's younger or older. But anyway, basically, but Tony Rock's bigger. You know, like Chris Rock is very unimposing, like physically.
Right.
And he was
Tony Rock is not that.
No. And he was basically like, come do that shit to me, I dare you kind of thing. Like, he went ham on Will on the stage during one of his stand-up sets or whatever. But then he made it funny too, so like, you know, like thing. But he was the first person that I could think of that actually like addressed it like on a stage or whatever like that. But yeah.
So a couple of things that he said was that he said Jada was not like that she didn't provoke the attack. As many people thought she did.
While she's holding the sign with what to say. And he's like,
oh, is that why his eyes went left?
Yeah, bro. Every time he was starting to get a little froggy, Jada was in the back like,
she holding up the red table. Don't make me take you back to the red table.
Like, stick to the script, Will. Stick to the script.
But he did, you know what? Now that you're saying that the whole stick to the script, his words seemed very measured.
Yeah.
He did say towards the end, he was like, yo, like, I'm apologizing and I'm going to be better in the future. And I'm hoping you guys will ride with me through this because like there's a better version of Will Smith to come, that type of shit.
Yeah. And I will say one thing that I really liked about it, which I think is a lesson that we can all take from it. I didn't necessarily like this, but I did like, there was a word that he used, which was like, I'm trying to allow myself, and I'm going to paraphrase, I'm going to butcher this a little bit, but like, basically like, I'm trying to allow myself to sort of go through these motions and be empathetic and feel this without being ashamed of myself.
Oh, right.
And I thought that was cool because like I think we could all take that in anything of like like we're all gonna make mistakes and we're gonna do stuff and you're sort of allowed, like obviously not as public as him, but like I think not being ashamed of sort of going through like, yeah, we're not perfect, we're gonna fuck up and we're gonna do shit. And I think because we're all sort of afraid of the backlash or afraid of the criticism or embarrassed or whatever, like we almost do that even to ourselves. We get embarrassed of ourselves. And so he's like, yeah, I'm trying to do all this, I'm trying to go through these motions, but I don't want to be ashamed of myself either.
Right.
Like, so I thought that was like the piece that I thought like, okay, like that's cool, sort of profound in a way. Everything else, bro, I felt like it was a hostage reading a fucking note. Like, like I literally felt like if Jada was in the back with a gun, like, read the fucking card, Will.
Jada's a great wife.
Yeah, but she did not provoke this attack. I love her. And August Alsina.
I love her.
Like it was disingenuous. Like it came off disingenuous because it seemed very measured and very thing. He's also almost overly emotional still. Like he looked like he was just crying or that look. Like that's the apology you expect like morning of, like after, where you're like, damn, I've been up all night. I've been thinking about this. Like I've lost sleep. Like yeah, I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. Right. You can't look disheveled like that 6 months later. Like he looked like we like rescued him from like a hostage situation or like you know those people that like get trapped in like someone keeps them in a
cave
room for like yeah he did, bro. It's like how you disheveled 6 months later, bro. Like you're not gonna have me out here believing that you've been treating yourself like shit for the last 6 months. Like I please.
But you know what, man? To go back to your point of like we all are like really hard on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are our own worst critic
For sure.
And then especially when, like I thought about that when he's walking up on the stage. When you're gonna go do something that you don't think is probably a good idea, but then like you're halfway there and you go like, well, fuck it,
I'm committed.
Yeah, like
I can't turn around.
I can't turn around now because people are gonna be like, well, what was he going up there to do?
Then they go ask you like, hey, what was that about? I was gonna smack the fuck out of Chris,
but then I changed my mind.
That's worse than I'm gonna just slap him.
That would have been great, actually.
Oh, how good was that? Yo, that shit would have been hilarious. Hilarious.
I came to my senses.
Be like, yeah, I walked up there, I was gonna smack Chris, but then like.
But how many times have we've all done that shit, man? Where you sort of like you commit to this bad decision, and then
I'm too committed.
Too committed. So I can't turn around and fucking make the right thing. I want to like a bitch.
Yeah, I think we all have, right?
Yeah,
like, yeah, I can't quit now because I like even as you say certain things, as they're leaving your mouth, you're like, well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But now I gotta commit to it. Yeah, you're like, I do that shit on the pod all the time, and I'm like, fuck it, I committed. We going in.
This is why we don't go live.
This is why we don't. Fuck it, turn it on. But yeah, man, I hated it. I'm like, bro, like, first of all, don't apologize. I do understand the concept of like you embarrassed him publicly, so you should apologize also publicly. I don't subscribe to this notion that like he should have only done this in private because you also embarrassed him very publicly. So I do think you owe him that public portion of the apology, or at least the attempt.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then I'm like, no one's asking you to do this, bro. We don't give a fuck. Like, just pop out with Bad Boys 4 in a couple months, and we all watching. Like, we don't care. Like, just roll. Like,
it is coming out.
Yeah,
I think they're
and I'm gonna watch, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I didn't like the other one.
What, 3?
Yeah.
It's not. The thing is, it's hard to follow 2, bro. Bad Boys 2 is such a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to follow Bad Boys 2, man. Like, I didn't dislike 3. I thought it was fine. It ain't better than 2 though.
They're old,
but like. Honestly, if Will Smith drops a movie this year and the movie's good, we don't give a fuck. We're gonna watch it. Like, so I agree. I don't know, man. And I know he's trying to like. I saw him post something on social media like this week. It was like me trying to come back to social media, and it was like a gorilla smacking like a little kid or whatever, like sneaking up on him, and he was like smacking.
Right.
So like he's trying to be playful.
That was him?
Yeah, it was him. So he's trying to be like playful, but I'm like, just come out, bro. Like just. Like, no one's going to be like, oh, you smacked Chris and now you want to post TikToks. Like, we don't give a fuck, bro. Like, we'll forgive real fast if you pretend like that should never happen.
Yep.
And better yet, like, I just don't like the forced, like, you have to look like this. Because I would have gone out there and been like, yeah, bro, like, I wish I'd have handled that better, but I smacked him because I was mad at the time. Like, that was the best thing I could come up with at the time. It wasn't right.
Yep.
Next question. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even to say like that, where it's like, you know what? Like, halfway up there, I knew that shit was a bad idea. But I was committed. Yeah, I feel bad. I apologize. I was trying to talk to him. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Like I regret doing that in that state, but shit seemed like a good idea at the time. Like just move on. Like we'd be like, yeah, we. And don't worry, I immediately regretted it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, I regretted it on the way up there, but I had fully committed to that shit. Like my shoes are pointing in that direction. Chris is gonna get it one way or another.
All right, bro. What you want to end with?
Bro, which one do I want to use? Yo,
what's up with the Dropbox?
You want a Dropbox baby? I was just gonna say that. You want to go Dropbox baby? Yo,
I don't know what it's about, so I don't know. You tell me.
It's you know how in states, yo, you can leave like you know the whole thing where you can go leave your baby at a fire station, like if you don't want it, like you can.
Vaguely.
Actually, you can leave children. babies, like
fire
newborn babies.
station,
Yeah, you can
bro?
just leave them on a fire station and then no questions asked and walk away.
Bro, God bless firefighters.
Yo, they gotta deal with everything. Yo, we go to them for like all the shit that we're like, all right, cops don't want to do this. Y'all look not busy. Yeah, we go to a fire station.
You motherfuckers are
These
all
motherfuckers
sleeping.
are sitting around all day. Yeah.
But we happy as hell when the fire pop off
Yeah, we
and they
sure
there,
are,
right?
yeah.
We happy as hell they had nothing else to do.
Yep. We be like, good thing I was bored today, bro. We had to take you away
Yep.
from your game of spades. Come put out this fire. But that was, I guess with this whole abortion thing, this like hot topic has popped back up, and it was funny because I'm like, man, you want to talk about shit that leaves an impact? You want to leave a baby?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
like
The abortion shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
So it's picking up of people
Yeah,
abandoning
no
babies.
shit.
Like, yeah, but I guess the argument is like it's a good thing, right? You're abandoning these babies. You're leaving them. These babies get put up for adoption. Infants are like they get adopted much quicker than older kids. Like again, it just shows how shitty we are as people. We're like, nah, I want a new one. I don't want a pre-owned kid.
Yep. The rest of them training to be firefighters.
They be like, yeah.
We got a whole force.
Like, how old is it? 5. It's got too many miles.
Send him into the burning building.
Bro, do you got anything from 2022? Like, we're so fucked up, yo. We're picky about babies, yo. We're like, yeah, we want to do something nice,
That's
but it's
funny
gotta
though,
be new.
man. Yeah, that's something like that.
Older
would
kids
pick
don't get
up
fucking
like crazy.
adopted, bro. So like, yeah, so now it's getting picked up, and like this place in Indiana, it's literally a drop box. Like think of like almost the return thing at the bookstore.
Yeah.
Where you pull it open and you slide the books in. So it's some shit like that, but it allows you to slide the baby in. So you put the baby in, and then it closes, and then an alarm goes off. And I think it is at like a fire station thing technically still too. But an alarm goes off. It tells them that there's a baby there, and they go.
Bro,
and
do you put it in there and run?
Nah, I guess you can walk away. They're not supposed to stop you. So it's
No,
supposed to
I'm
be,
just saying, but like,
yeah, you got
isn't that don't
Ding
you
dong ditch.
feel like shit?
Ding dong, and you run off.
They got the ring on you motherfuckers.
Yo, that's so shooting hobbies, dude.
We know who dropped this one off.
They asked this kid like, "Who was my mom?" Like, hold on, let's pull up the archives on the red camera on that date. But like, so I get every state has a law allowing you to do this, like no questions asked. Like,
Okay.
So without you getting charged with like child neglect or anything like
Right.
that or abandonment. And they have that, and they have like whatever procedures you're supposed to follow to do it. But they're saying that like, so this place in Indiana had only had one in like however many years it was open, and then they were saying that like it had like 3 earlier this year within like a couple months span, and then like going into the summer now it's picking up, and in other places it's starting to pick up because of the whole abortion thing. They're finding that people, and this has always been the argument from like specific political parties, are like that you could just do this instead of like having abortions. So that I would say it doesn't address like the health aspect for a woman of going through a pregnancy and all
Right.
that. But that's a different topic. I don't want to get into that right now. But so it was like doing this. But I saw that there was like a Dropbox maybe like, yo, this is like a Blockbuster rental. You know what I'm saying? You slide that bitch into
That's it, man. And then when it's late, you slide it in there and run.
Like, ooh, it's crying. Yo, I go. Yo,
Oh, they go to baby daddy.
they're gonna be. Yo, we pick convenience over everything, bro. Yo, I can't wait till Uber got a service that go like, yo, we'll pick up the baby and we'll drop that shit off somewhere, bro.
Just have a car seat ready.
Just have the put it in a basket.
Oh.
Bro, I'm like, yo, we pick convenience over everything because even a Dropbox baby drop off is popping off right now.
Ding dong bitch. Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
If you're not already following us. I can't even get through it.
Sorry.
At the Carbon Football Podcast on IG, at Carbon Football Podcast on TikTok, Facebook at the Carbon Football Podcast, YouTube, the Carbon Football Podcast. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, leave us a comment in there. You know, talk to us about the drinks, give us some ideas, and then all your favorite like audio and podcast platforms, man. Google Podcasts, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, GeoSavin, kind of all of it. So Amazon Music, all of it. You know, tell your Alexa, tell your Google Home, all of it. They'll play it. So
Yep. And yo, if y'all are trying the drinks, at least comment, hit us up on IG. I'm tired of seeing all these people telling us DM me to promote.
Yeah.
No, bitch. Let's try the drinks. If y'all trying them, I know some of y'all out there trying them. Hit us up.
Yeah.
Let us know how it is. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.